In this episode, we bring you an exercise that is similar to yoga, Pilates. So what is Pilates? Like yoga, it utilizes stretching and flexibility exercises for its workout programs. But at the same time, unlike yoga, Pilates mostly works with tension exercises aimed at developing muscle endurance and strengthening of the core. Also called contrology by its founder Joseph Pilates, it revolves around the concept of muscle control, starting from your center. This center, which is mostly composed of muscles in the abdomen, lower and upper back, hips, buttocks, and inner thighs, are what many Pilates teachers call the powerhouse. And in Pilates, all movement and energy begin from your powerhouse, flowing outward to your limbs. If you've tried Pilates, you will know that Pilates requires intense focus. Each exercise routine aims to be smooth and flowing, focusing on every muscle group's movement. Because the movements involved with each exercise are more important than the exercise itself, practitioners are taught that the Pilates method teaches you to be in control of your body and not at its mercy. Another central concept to Pilates is precision. Because emphasis is given to the way the exercises are done and completed, this means that they must be also done correctly. A summarized glance at the importance of this concept can be found as stated in Return to Life through Contrology. Concentrate on the correct movements each time you exercise, lest you do them improperly and thus lose all the vital benefits of their value. A physical culturist from Germany, Joseph Pilates designed the Pilates system with the intention of strengthening both the body and mind. He believed deeply in the interrelation of our physical and mental selves, and in a holistic view of healing and development. An avid practitioner of many physical training regimes in his youth, Joseph Pilates developed his own training system, which clearly exhibits a connection with the physical culture of the late 19th century. It is also related to the tradition of corrective exercise and medical gymnastics, and as well as popular views of claims of special apparatuses and exercises to cure ill health. It was while he was trapped in the Isle of Man in Britain because of the war that Joseph Pilates started teaching his own system to his other trapped countrymen. As a part of life, Pilates has become a regular exercise and fitness program, especially among dancers and athletes. It has also become popular with seniors, and as well as people who are at various stages of recovery and rehabilitation. Exercise steps. Pilates. The 100, often used as a warm-up, tones your core, flattens your belly, works your arms, and boosts circulation. Lying on your back, lift your legs to a 75-degree angle. Lift your head and shoulders, and with your arms by your sides and off the floor. With palms facing down, pump your arms up and down, inhaling for 5 counts and exhaling for 5 counts until you reach 100 breaths. Roll up. The roll-up stretches your muscles, massages your spine, stimulates circulation, and promotes breathing. Similar to a sit-up, the roll-up begins as you lie on your mat with your hands overhead and slowly roll up to sit and reach toward your feet. Single leg circles. Single leg circles work your abdominals, hips, thighs, and hamstrings. Lying on your mat with both legs extended along the floor. Lift your left leg off the floor toward the ceiling. Point the toes of your left foot and then make clockwise circles with your left leg without moving or lifting your hips. Do 5 counterclockwise circles and then repeat with the right leg. Single leg stretch. The single leg stretch works your transversus abdominis. Begin by lying on your back. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor and extend your right leg into the air at a 45-degree angle. Inhale and hug your left knee into your chest. Still inhaling, switch and extend your left leg as you hug your right knee. Exhale and hug the left and then the right knee. Perform 5 to 10 reps per side. Spine stretch. Spine stretch lengthens your back and hamstrings. From a seated position on the floor, with your legs spread, hip width, and your feet flexed apart, stretch your arms in front of you. Exhale and lower your head in between your arms as if you were going to dive. Inhale and return to the start. Do 3 to 5 times. Mermaid side bend. Mermaid side bend activates your transversus abdominis, which stabilizes your pelvis and spine. Side kick. Side kicks tone your abdominals and gluteus maximus. Lie on your right side with your hand supporting your head. Extend your legs and then move them to a 45-degree angle along the floor in front of you. Lift your left leg to hip level and kick it out in front of you, and then swing it back behind you without rocking. Do 5 to 10 and then switch sides. Crisscross. Crisscross works your abs and your obliques to better define your waist. Lie on your back with your knees bent, shins parallel to the floor, hands behind your head and elbows wide. Lift your head and shoulders. Stretch one leg out and pull the other in as you rotate your upper body toward your bent knee and then twist to the other side. Tips and trivia. When taking up Pilates, it would be best to remember the original 6 concepts and points. Concentration. Pilates demands extreme focus and concentration, and a complete awareness of your body and how they feel. Control. As stated earlier, the Pilates method teaches you to be in control of your body and not at its mercy. Centering. The center is the focal point of the Pilates method. This is where all movement should flow from, leading outward to your limbs. Learning this is an important foundation, leading to better and stable exercise routines in the future. Flow and efficiency. Quality and elegant sufficiency of movements creates flow by utilizing all the appropriate transitions in a routine. These help to integrate the exercises within and into each other, building strength and stamina. Precision. Concentrate on the correct movements each time you exercise, lest you do them improperly and thus lose all the vital benefits of their value. Remember that quality is best over quantity. Breathing. Proper full inhalation and complete exhalation are important keys to bodily house cleaning with blood circulation. Breathe deep into the back and sides of one's rib cage and breathe out with your deep abdominal and pelvic floor muscles. Healthy eating. You may have come across news of pesticide-ridden vegetables, GMO fruits, snacks that are claiming to be healthy but are actually highly processed, among other food controversies. It's actually hard to cross-check, even with food labels, the integrity of the food you're eating. This is probably the reason why a movement in nutrition is increasingly growing, wherein people get their produce directly from the source, currently dubbed as farm-to-table eating. Going organic is a health concept that came about because of the need for healthier options in nutrition. In line with this, several households are going into organic gardening, the practice of growing your own vegetables at your backyard so you know exactly what goes into your body. For those convinced to decrease the amount of pesticides that goes into your body via the veggies you're eating, the downside is organic produce from the market are a bit on the pricey side and are not easily available. No need to fret, because alongside the food revolution is the thinking of growing your own delicious fresh produce via organic gardening. And it's not that hard. So roll up your sleeves and let's start to plant. You can start with a plant or two first as you familiarize yourself in growing them. Organic gardening basically means you won't be using synthetic fertilizers or pesticides. It's also about trying to foster a more holistic, natural ecosystem. Preparing the soil. In order to get the best results with your new organic garden, you'll want to make sure the soil is properly conditioned. Chemical soil treatments can not only seep into your food, but they can also harm the beneficial bacteria, worms, and other microbes in the soil. The best way to gauge the quality of your soil is to get it tested. You can get a home testing kit, or better, send a sample to your local agricultural extension office. All gardens benefit from compost. Spread compost around plants. Compost is actually easy to make at home. Compost feeds plants, helps conserve water, cuts down on weeds, and keeps food and yard waste out of landfills. Choose the right plants. It really pays to select plants that will thrive in your specific micro-conditions. There are sites online, resource books, or community support that can guide you in choosing the plants perfect for your location. Choose plants that will be well adjusted to each spot in terms of light, moisture, drainage, and soil quality. Most gardens have gradations in these variables. The happier your plants are, the more resistant they will be. If you're buying seedlings, look for plants raised without chemical fertilizers and pesticides. It's better to buy stocky seedlings with few, if any, blooms yet, and with roots that don't look overcrowded. Many plants are best grown from seed, including sunflowers, annual poppies, evening scented stock, coriander, dill, annual phlox, larkspur, annual lupin, morning glories, sweet peas, squash, and cucumbers. Plant crops in wide beds. Plants that you will be harvesting, such as vegetables or cutting flowers, should be grouped tightly in raised beds. Grouping reduces weeding and water waste and helps you target compost and nutrients. Easier path maintenance helps lead to healthy soil. Ample space between rows helps promote air circulation, which repels fungal attacks. Remember that seedlings won't always stay diminutive, and you do want to try to limit overshadowing. Proper watering. The best time to water plants is usually in the morning. Mornings tend to be cool and without strong winds, so the amount of water lost to evaporation is reduced. If you water in the evening, plants stay damp overnight, making them more likely to be damaged by fungal and bacterial diseases. Ideally, you want to water the roots, not the greenery, which is easily damaged. A drip or soak system can work great, or just carefully water the bases of plants by hand. Most experts recommend substantial, infrequent watering for established plants, typically a total of about 1 inch of water per week, including rain. 1 or 2 applications a week encourages deeper rooting, which promotes stronger plants. To avoid shocking tender greenery, try to use water at or near air temperature. It is also a great idea to use collected rainwater with population growth and climate change putting increasing pressure on our precious freshwater supplies. It is becoming more important than ever to save water. Weeding. Pulling weeds by hand may sound like hard work, but this can also be a form of exercise for you and at the same time get you outside for fresh air. Protect plants without toxic pesticides. If your plants are being assaulted by pests, it may be a sign of other problems. So the first thing you should do is make sure they're getting enough light, nutrients, and moisture. Also, remember that a diverse garden helps prevent pests and boost biodiversity. It's a good thing to foster natural predators in your garden, such as frogs, toads, lizards, birds, and even bats. Beneficial insects can be your best friends, especially ladybugs. Leave a small source of water out to attract friendly predators. It is also a good idea to grow plants with small blossoms, such as sweet alyssum and dill, which attract predatory insects. Nets and row covers can also work. There are also organic alternatives that are much safer for you and our environment. Organic weapons such as naturally occurring bacteria disrupts the digestion of caterpillars and other leaf eaters. Harvesting. The best thing in gardening is harvesting the fruits of your labor. Fresh organic produce also makes great gifts. Generally, the more you harvest, the more your plants will produce for you. During peak harvest season, you'll likely find that it's best to check your garden every day. If you have herbs, you can freshly pick them right before you need them for cooking. When harvesting leafy greens, pick sporadically from the entire crop, a little from each plant. For broccoli, wait until the central head is as large as it will get before sending off buds for flowering. Cut it off right above the leaf node, and you'll likely get better production from the rest of the plant. In general, it's best to cut produce off with a sharp knife or scissors versus ripping with your fingers, which can cause more damage to plant tissue. Pole. An alternative to the traditional exercises that greatly improves your flexibility while having fun is pole dancing. As a matter of fact, it also provides an aerobic and anaerobic workout at the same time. Rooted historically in the traditional Indian sport of Malakamba, which mainly showcases participant strength and endurance using a stick wooden pole. These days, Malakamba competitions are held in India on a national level, but more as an art form than a method of training. Another pole-based art form is Chinese pole, also developed in the 12th century, usually involve 2 or more performers, done on poles laced with rubber materials and full-body costumes. These would showcase flips, jumps, and other acrobatic feats of strength, skill, and precision, usually at heights of 20 feet in the air. Starting from the 1920s, traveling circuses and sideshow would feature pole dancing using the middle pole of the tents. Then, as the 1990s came in, pole dancing began to be seen as a form of recreational and competitive sport. And since, numerous competitions have been held, with prestigious ones as the World Pole Sport Championship, U.S. Pole Federation Championship, and the International Pole Masters Cup Championship. Currently, a petition to hold pole dancing in the 2016 Olympics is being promoted by KT Coates, a famed competitive pole dancer, and the International Pole Sport Federation. Pole dancing has traveled the journey from sport to entertainment and most recently to fitness and lifestyle. Taking up Pilates as a way to get fit is one of the most enjoyable exercise routines, especially if you're coming from illness or injury, or simply just need a steady pace. While it can be practiced on your own, it would be best to start under an instructor so that the correct form can be observed and implemented. However, it would also be best to research the techniques according to Joseph Pilates, his teachings and concepts, just so you can make a quick comparison. Run a quick backgrounder on the instructor or center you are interested in, and ask other practitioners for advice, tips, and feedback on who's who in your local area. With that said, we hope that today has helped bring you one step closer to becoming a fit and healthy individual. See you at the next episode!